ball through. And oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen. Hoylett's got the better of Buxton. Puts it into an area. Keogh, Zamora!
Hello and welcome back to the Talk About Nothing podcast. As ever, you're joined by myself, Hugo, and the co-host of this wonderful show, Alfie. Would you like to say hello?
Hello.
Today, we bring you a special episode because we are joined by a man who's West Ham through and through. More importantly, a football fanatic, and as well as that, a good mate of me and Alfie. Rian, would you like to say hello?
Hello, how are we?
Very good.
What a brilliant intro. What a brilliant
podcast. Thank you. That was prepared, I must say.
Yeah.
Anyway, couple bit of admin before we get into the episode. First of all, I apologise for the perhaps disturbed audio you had on your last viewing of the pod. That was Alfie's brother playing on his Xbox.
Yeah.
But hey ho, that's can't be helped. Also, we apologise for the lack of episodes in the last couple of weeks. We do assure you we've been working at the same pace the whole way through since we started, but just
that's not true, is it?
Down. Well, and looking forward to the future. We've got some new episodes. Me and Alfie are very, very excited to record with some special guests. So watch this space. Just before we get onto the main bulk of the episode, I don't think there's anywhere else we can start apart from the big news this week that football in England will be returning. The Premier League and the Championship have both set provisional dates. The Premier League being the 17th of June and the Premier League? Yeah, and the Championship, being the 20th of June. Rian, West Ham host Wolves on the first week back.
Yeah.
Do you have a score prediction for that game?
I want to be as confident as I can, but I reckon we're going to win 3-1.
3-1. Wow, that is confident. Yeah. Other games to look forward to that week are City, Arsenal, and the Merseyside derby. Alfie, obviously, for us, 20th of June is the date we're going to be looking at. I say again, that is provisional. Let's get on to the bulk of the episode. And we'll start off with a viewer favourite, I'm going to say. It's hot takes. It's an unpopular football opinion that we have, and we discuss and we debate them. Alfie, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. Okay. So obviously football's back, which also means VAR is back. So my hot take, I want to talk about VAR for a bit. So what I want to say is this is a view that I've had before VAR was imposed, and it's this is probably, let's say, unrealistic. But what I think should happen with VAR is similar to what happens with cricket. Okay? Each team should get 3 appeals decided by the captain, and instead of every goal being checked, every red card being checked, the team decides what they want to have checked. Now, this, again, with cricket, it also adds, another element to the game, which I also think would improve VAR, because I've got some stats about VAR, if you would. So there's been 88 total overturns. So that means given goals, disallowed goals, red cards, stuff that wasn't on the pitch. So 22 goals have been given, 46 goals have been disallowed, as well as 16 awarded penalties, 4 overturned penalties, 4 penalty retakes, 28 goals ruled out for offside, and that's a whole nother hot take in itself.
Yeah.
And 8 goals awarded for incorrect offside, 10 goals awarded for handball, 2 goals awarded for wrong handball, 6 red cards, and 3 overturned red cards. So it's been a massive, massive part of the game this season, and I just think something needs to be changed with VAR rather than the rules of football, which seems what people are focusing on. It's the offside rule rather than actually the way VAR operates. So, what do you think?
The thing that I would say is, alluding to cricket, is obviously in cricket, the game is very stop-start. That is just the format of the game. It's a delivery, the shot is played or whatever, and then you're back to your mark. And there's a natural break it depends what format, but, every 30 seconds, let's say. In football, it's blockages of 45 minutes. And I know the ball goes out of play, but they're not as big stoppages compared to cricket. And then also, I think, let's say it was like 3 reviews a game per team. I think if you're losing and it's 70-minute onwards, you just review everything, which would just aggravate the fans, aggravate the players, and I'm not sure it's necessarily welcome. I'm not sure that necessarily be the way to go.
Yeah, I think
personally.
VAR's already stopped. Like, it's already slowed down the pace of the game so much, and doing that it'll slow it down even more. And it would actually make more. There'd be a lot more kind of. The fans would be grieved a lot more than they already are. Because imagine you're like, I don't know, relegation battle, one of the final games of the season, and you can't review a goal that was so clearly onside.
But if
It
you
would
use your
just
3 reviews, then that's already your fault.
Yeah, which is why it will grieve the fans a lot more.
All you really need is a replay once to go, yeah, that's offside, or it's not. Realistically, these whole, his pinky toe is offside is just getting so frustrating. Yeah, okay, all right, they're offside. But it's not, is it making a difference? And what happens to giving the attacker the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah.
That was such a big part of football.
One thing I was going to say is actually this come back to cricket. So in cricket, they've got umpires call where the on-field decision is kind of it's more likely to go that way. Again, it depends on how much the ball's hitting the stumps or hitting the pads, whatever. But if they did something similar in football where the on-field decision, it would need something great to turn over the decision, as opposed to it couldn't be a toe if it was given, let's say, onside on the field. It would need to be a significant amount of distance to then be called offside. Something like that, maybe. I don't know.
Well, they could just make the lines thicker, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that is an option. But what they're trying to do is change the rules to suit VAR, not change VAR to suit the rules. Which I
agree they should do.
Yeah.
With you, I believe.
Yeah.
We could talk about this for absolutely ages, but we're not going to. We're going to move on to my hot take. I think we'll go. So it's actually, Rian might have a bit of a personal connection with this one. By coincidence, I must add. And it's this. That for football clubs who move to new stadiums, there's actually more negatives than positives. And not necessarily the negatives outweigh the positives, but they play a significantly bigger role than people think. So obviously the two kind of case studies, if you will, that are probably obvious to us being English football fans are Tottenham and West Ham. Obviously West Ham moving from the Bowling, which had a capacity of 35,000 to the London Stadium with 60,000. So that's almost doubling. And that's similar to Tottenham. White Hart Lane to the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is 36,000 to 62,000. So both of them just under doubling their capacity. Obviously, with this, the main advantage is that there's more income because there's more seats. Therefore, you get more matchday revenue by more people coming to the games, which obviously brings in money to the club. As well as that, the bigger stadiums, you can host other things besides football. I know the Bowling, the London Stadium can host concerts and has done. And the Tottenham Stadium can host NFL games, which it has done and was going to do more, and concerts as well. And boxing, I think there was talk of Anthony Joshua having a boxing match there. But the negatives, and I think this is crucial, is that the Bowling's probably the perfect example of this. When nobody, as an away player, wants to go play football at the Bowling. And that is just true. And Selhurst Park, saying you've got loads of grounds in England. And this is why I love Loftus Road. Because nobody wants to go there. When you go out and take a throw-in, you're scared someone's going to slap the back of your head. Because, they're going to be shouting abuse to you anyway. And the same going out and taking a corner. They're on top of you. It's intimidating. The changing rooms are probably grim. I know the ones at QPR are. And I'm sure they were the same at the Bowling. And it's just off-putting. But now you go to places like the London Stadium, like the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and you want to make sure you give it a 10 out of 10. Mm-hmm. And this is, I think, perfect with Wembley when Tottenham in their transition phase, when they move to Wembley. Because normally in this country, we associate Wembley with either England matches. So you're either playing for your nation, England, or being another nation, you come to England to play football. Or you with finals, whether that be playoff finals down in League Two or FA Cup finals.
It's a neutral ground.
Well, yeah, it's a neutral, and it's almost, it's a tier above everything else. You don't even think about it as like a Premier League stadium.
Yeah.
The reason people move to new grounds is nothing. The football doesn't really come into the equation. It's all a financial decision.
Yeah.
When West Ham bought the Olympic Stadium, it wasn't oh, I think that this can really take our club as a football team to the next level. We can really take our club as a business to the next level. It's profitable.
owners
It's almost
sold
a
it.
tourist attraction.
They sold it as we're going to take you to the next level, as in the whole club.
Yeah.
But it was just a final. Like, it is one of the most sensitive topics between West Ham fans because
I was going to say it's caused this divide.
It's the worst thing they've done for this club. They've done some pretty bad things, but they took our home. Like when we went to the Bowden, yeah, you're right. People were actually scared, but now I don't know if either of you have been to our stadium, but it is the worst atmosphere in the Premier League. It is the worst atmosphere in the Premier League. I have to I hate
For a
saying it,
fan
but it
to
is.
say that about their own team,
Just
honestly says everything.
don't get me wrong. Our away support is one of the best in the country, but our home support is shocking. When you go to games, like I love going to games. But it's almost boring. We sing the bubbles when we come out, and that is it. Maybe you'll get a few come on your irons throughout the game, and that is it. It is bold, and it is awful.
There's not been much to sing about in recent years. In fairness,
but actually, as an opposition to that, and I don't know if either of you have had a chance to go to the new Spurs stadium.
I have, luckily, yeah.
But Spurs fans will say the opposite. However, again, completely a financial decision. It was more tickets sold, these restaurants. It was basically more new jobs. It was completely another financial decision. But at the same time, I think that's been good for the club.
Yeah, but also I'd say that London Stadium, the West Ham fans, as Ream back, are so far back. Tottenham, if you've been to, which it sounds like you have, Tottenham are right on top of you.
Well, I went with Dan, and his seats are like row 62. Now, bear in mind, at QPR, I'm in row G. I'm about halfway up, and I think I'm 5-6 rows up. Potentially, I don't know.
And I'm near the back.
And I feel so, we shout to the players from our seats when they're doing warm-ups and they acknowledge us. 62 rows. You're almost... There were some times I was actually losing perspective of the game. I had to watch some of it on the screen because I couldn't, comprehend really. I think that takes getting used to when you sit there for a while. But it was hard. Like, you're pretty much on top of you can't really see the players. And it did at times feel a bit soulless in that respect. I mean, the atmosphere is good, but it did feel a bit, you're not watching a football game.
There's one thing I would go between Tottenham and West Ham New Stadium, because Tottenham's was purposefully built for their football club. We moved into an Olympic stadium, a stadium that had been used for the Olympics. That is not our home, but this is their new home. We moved out of our home to kind of go to a rental. So it will never... So what they've done, they've got some new planning, and so behind the goals, they've squared off the stands, the bottom tiers of the stands, so they're now closer. But it just still won't feel like the Bowden ever.
Just to finish this hot take off, what do you propose is done about it? Like, do you want out of the stadium, or is there something that they can do?
No, we can't move out of it. But the Bowden is all knocked down now, it's all flat. It looks ridiculous. But I think they've got to square off all the stands and almost make it kind of like, you've seen Anfield, right? Kind of like that, where you have two squared off behind the goal, and you have because it's a bowl, so there is no atmosphere.
Well, it's like a running track, isn't it? It was made.
That's how obviously it originally was.
So if you have squared off stands, the fans come closer. It's more of a traditional football stadium, which is what West Ham fans want. And you may lose a few thousand seats. We've got 66,000 seats in there. We do not need that many. We do not need, because a lot of them are tourists. Yeah. People go, oh, there you go, there's a spare seat for a tenner at the West Ham game.
Yeah.
Well, this is my point, and this is what we will finish on, is that when you go to these stadiums, I think Alfie said it's a tourist attraction, so you're going to want to make sure you play the best you've played. When you go to the Bowling, you don't care that you don't care if you play well as much as any other game, because it's just a grubby old stadium in the east of London. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's basically my closing point, is that now players want to go and play at these amazing stadiums because they're amazing stadiums, while in the past, that obviously wasn't the case.
All right, Rian.
Declan Rice walks into every top six side, bar Liverpool, at the moment.
Right, I want Hugo to start. Because you know what I think of Declan Rice.
On this
so, well, You said bar Liverpool, but surely if Declan Rice is better than Henderson, Alfie, he'd walk into the Liverpool squad. But I don't even want
No,
to.
because Henderson is pivotal to that squad working. It's individual.
Well, and he's a better player. Just
He does.
don't. Oh,
Okay,
Rian, please don't
Thank
hop on
you.
Alfie's bandwagon. Please do me a favour.
Henderson is he's suited to Liverpool. Declan Rice will not be suited until.
Yeah,
he's,
in
you know,
addition to that
involved
point, a player's value, just slightly going off topic, but I'll bring it back. Nathan Ake, Bournemouth valued him at 70 million. Not because he's a 70 million pound player, but because to Bournemouth, he's worth 70 million pounds. Similar concept with Henderson. They can't really lose Henderson in that.
They did for a few games. Remember, he got injured and they were awful. They had no cohesion in the team.
I don't even know I want to start on this point. I'll start quickly just addressing what Alfie said about Nathan Ake. Is that Bournemouth know he's not worth £70 million, but they know that is their biggest payday should they get rid of him, and they'd be massively stuck. But I do see what you mean about he's worth that much to Bournemouth, but even then, the price is still inflated. But so Declan Rice walks into any team bar Liverpool in the top 6. Okay, so Liverpool maybe, not so United maybe. I think McTominay and Fred.
Definitely.
I think
awful.
I think McTominay and Fred have come on a lot this year. I think Chelsea absolutely not. I think Chelsea absolutely not. I think Kante is the best defensive midfielder in the league on his day, and I think Jorginho and Pulisic have both improved. Oh, Rian, I beg you, let me finish. I'm on a rant. Who else do we have? We've got Tottenham Hotspur. That I think Harry Winks.
Don't you dare. Don't actually dare.
Harry Winks is a great little player on the ball. I think Ndombele is only going to improve under Jose, and I hope he does. Maybe. Who else we got? We got Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal are just shambolic in that midfield. Although I do think Xhaka, since that whole incident, I do think.
Oh my god! He's actually.
I think Granit Xhaka's. I think he's starting to get an understanding of football. It's taking him his time. I think, and have I left anyone out?
City.
Oh, I mean, I don't even want to address City because that is just waffle at this point.
I'd actually say that he's not getting in ahead of Fernandinho realistically. That's the one.
But of course he's not. You don't need to say that. That's why I didn't say it.
Fernandinho's going to leave. When Fernandinho leaves...
They'll offer him
but he hasn't left, to be fair.
Okay, fine. All right,
fine. Rodri, Gundogan. Even if they're not necessarily defensive.
They're stacked in midfield, though. Their midfield is stacked.
But without Fernandinho playing, they look really weak. And
terrible. I love watching Fernandinho. He's so underrated.
They're going to play 3 attacking midfielders in midfield.
Really, don't tell me. No. Do not tell me that you think City improve with Declan Rice in their squad. Do not tell me that is true.
When Fernandinho leaves, I think they do improve.
Okay, I'm actually. I will disagree. I'll disagree with you because their midfield, their midfield is one thing I would say probably they shouldn't really touch for the next few years until they start losing players. To be honest, their midfield is.
I think they actually do need a defensive midfielder, but it's definitely not Declan Rice. I don't think
Fernandinho. If they get another centre back, because Fernandinho's plays centre back.
Yeah. If they do, but then that's a big if.
No, that's what I'm saying. They get another centre back, which they should do anyway. They'd be stupid not to. Fernandinho comes back into the midfield. There you go, sorted.
Rian, can I ask you a quick question?
Okay.
Rian, who's better, Mateo Kovacic or Declan Rice, in your opinion? Overall as a player,
Kovacic has had a great season. Don't get me wrong, he's had it.
Right, so you've avoided the question.
No, I'm getting there. But Declan Rice, age, very young, 21. Yeah. Kovacic, slightly older. He has still got at least 10 years in football, and he is playing week in, week out to an exceptional standard. Declan Rice is a better player than Mateo Kovacic.
Oh, God.
Okay, but Rice is the same age as Eze.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and I'm still confident that Eze will go on if he has the right attitude and picks the right clubs, etc., and everything works out for him. I think he can be a great player in a top 6 club. Same with Rice, but Rice is already at a better standard. Already at the same age, playing for England, playing week in, week out for West Ham. There is no reason why, as well how good he is now, why he can't go on to be an icon in the Premier League.
Just watching him on a week in, week out, he does things that people he gets looked upon as average because people don't watch him. People think, oh, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards. If you watch him, he is trying to take the ball forward. He just doesn't have the people around him. He hasn't
Trying
had
is the key word in
around him.
that sentence. Trying, not succeeding.
He does.
Anyway,
Right.
no. I want to get this straight. I'm a big fan of Declan Rice. I just don't think he's better than England's second best player, and I don't think he's better than Mateo Kovacic, who, may I remind you, was
he's
once
obviously not better
labelled.
than Sterling.
Oh no, I don't
Thank
want to
you.
get into. Oh, it's just I can't even start saying Sterling's our best player. Anyway, we're going very off topic now, and although I do feel like we could be here for absolutely ages,
Yeah,
we're not going to be. We've now got a new segment, and I've named it the Tan Takeover. Tan is obviously talk about nothing. Takeover.
Okay.
So between me, Alfie, and Rian, we've all picked a top 6 club by Liverpool because it looks like Liverpool are certain to win the Premier League, and we've pretended we are their owner, and we've divided some transfer plans that we might look into should we be their owner. I've picked Tottenham, Rian's Chelsea.
Yeah.
And Alfie, you are
Arsenal.
Does anybody want to particularly go first, or I'm happy to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
Go first.
So there's no secret that I think Tottenham's defence has been way worse than people thought it would be, especially under Jose. And the man I'd look to bring in at centre back is a man called Malang Sarr, playing for Nice. I don't know if either of you have heard of him.
Yeah.
His contract runs out this summer, so you can get him in on a free, and Nice have confirmed that he will leave this summer. He's only 21 years of age, and he's already made over 100 League Art appearances for Nice. So he's got a wealth of experience at 21, similar to our good friend Declan. He's 6 foot, he's fast, he's a left-footed centre-half. On average, he completes 70 passes a game with a 90% accuracy, as well as making 3.5 tackles a game. And he's got very high interception numbers. From this, we can say he's a very aggressive centre-back, a front-footed centre-back, as opposed to someone who perhaps is a sweeper. He reads the game very well because although having high interception and tackle numbers, he only makes a foul every 2 games. So, he's careful when he goes out. He can read the game very well, as I said. And I think, you can get him on a free. That's been confirmed by Nice. There have been no real links to any top clubs, bar Barcelona, but those rumours haven't been particularly strong. The only problem I think Tottenham may face is that because ultimately he'll probably go to the team who offering the highest wage, and obviously we know Levy isn't necessarily famous for offering people high wage. So I think that could perhaps let them down. But that's someone who I'd look to bring at centre-back, especially if Vertonghen leaves. And then I think you've got him, Sanchez, and Alderweireld, who...
Do you think Sanchez is good?
There.
You go.
I think Sanchez and Sarr would be 2 quality centre-backs, yeah.
Okay. I think Sanchez is a bit of he's got a bit 2 left feet. He's not...
I'm literally going to sit right in the middle, and I think Sanchez completely has his moments. Like, there are some times you watch and go, that was a quality tackle. There are also sometimes you watch and go, what on earth are you doing? He is completely...
I agree. I think that comes with consistency, though. Consistency of run of games. And I think he's had injury problems which won't necessarily be fixed, because they can't really be. But, hopefully if Jose gives him time. I'll quickly go on to one more player. Again, the defence left back, to my knowledge, they've only got 2, Ben Davies and Danny Rose. Danny Rose, I believe, is on loan at Newcastle. It's not permanent. But I don't think he's going to play another game for Tottenham Hotspur. And it's clear to me Ben Davies is not good enough to play, certainly for a top 6 club, maybe even the Premier League. To be fair, we've not seen him for the last 4 years. A couple of options I've got. The first of which being Marcus Alonso, obviously Chelsea left back. And I actually think you could get him out of Chelsea because it appears that he's not necessarily in favour with Lampard, Emerson being given a large percentage of the games this season. Obviously,
do you know how much Tottenham fans hate Marcus Alonso?
They do not like him.
I think as soon as
they hate him.
As soon as he goes from Chelsea to Tottenham, he instantly becomes a fan favourite.
Yeah.
That's why Chelsea fans love Willian.
Some of the stuff they chant at him is...
Think about what Arsenal would have tried at Sol Campbell before he joined them.
Yeah, precisely.
And then when he joined, he became an absolute instant hero.
I don't think that would worry Tottenham fans too much, especially if it's...
What about a right back? Sergio Aurier's got to be one of the worst right backs in the league. And you're choosing...
Alfie, what's that stat again you said on the last episode about?
Oh yeah, Aurier's got more lockdown breaches than clean sheets this season, with 3
Great
lockdown
stat.
Yeah,
breaches,
he
2 clean
is
sheets.
absolutely awful.
I actually think he's been their best defender this year. Not because he's been particularly good, but because the rest of the defence has been awful. And I think he's been given a run in the team because there's no one else really, apart from Tanganga's kind of emerged this year. But I actually think that he could have a future at Tottenham. I agreed. I don't think he's particularly good, but I think he can be improved. I don't think that's a secret. But I think left back is probably more pressing. And besides Marcus Alonso, who I think you could probably get between 20 and 30 million, maybe Chelsea would probably play a hard game. But also Marcel Haustenberg out of Leipzig, playing out in Germany. He's played 24 games this season, scoring 3 goals and 2 assists, all from left back. He averages 3.5 tackles interceptions per 90, so similar numbers to Sarr. He's predominantly an attacking fullback, which I don't think is a bad thing for Tottenham. I think if you play Son out on that left-hand side, cutting in his right foot, you have this overlap of Haustenberg. I think that's quite a nice dynamic, and he averages a dribble per game, which is quite high for fullbacks actually in Europe. So I think he's 28 years of age, so he's still got probably 4 years left in him at the top level. And I think, you know, if you bring in any 2 of those names I've mentioned, Tottenham definitely improve as a football side. That's all I've got.
All right, Rian.
Yeah, I'll go. So I put Chelsea in. Yeah, they've had a transfer ban till it got lifted in Jan, but they didn't really make any signings. Well, they got Ziyech. He's joining in the summer. I think it's a good signing, but they have got some serious issues in their team. I think let's start in defence, sort of goalkeeper. I mean, the most expensive keeper in the world got dropped for Willy Caballero. That's when you know you've got an issue.
Kepa's got the lowest save percentage of any goalkeeper in the league this season.
In the Champions League, he had a 50% save, shot to save ratio percentage. So basically, every shot you got 50% chance of scoring against him, which is pretty crap.
You know, I think in the Premier League it's in the 30%.
Is it?
Yeah,
every shot on target.
Many shots at all. Pardon?
Yeah, that is
every shot on target.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so there was a few keepers that they could look at. I think Onana being one of their biggest targets. Definitely. He is a cracking keeper, and he needs to, if he wants to become a better player, bigger player, more well-known player, he's got to move from Ajax to a bigger club. So I think they'll be looking at him. But also, apparently there's been links with ter Stegen and Dean Henderson. But I think Onana's the one they've got to go for. I don't
think you can get ter Stegen out of Barcelona.
I also don't think you can get Henderson off Man United's books.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if I'm United, which I'll just say quickly, I'd get with De Gea, try and get 50 million for Dean Henderson, and he's still one of the top 6 keepers in the league. Anyway, Rian, I'll let you continue.
Right back, Ragnell, right. He got Reece James. He looks decent. He's going to be a cracking player. But their centre-backs, again, they have conceded. So even in games they win, they concede goals. They have been pretty poor defensively. Kurt Zouma and Fikayo Tomori been on and off. And I think they've got... And they can get back... They can buy back Ake. Surely they've got to hit that 40 million buyback clause. They've got to. 40 million...
Is that still active?
Yeah, it's still active.
Oh, right.
Today's market is... not that much for a quality centre-back, and I think they've got to get him back. They need a new left-back. Emerson, not cutting it at the moment, nor is Alonso. Ben Chilwell, good option. Would he want to leave to go from Leicester to Chelsea? It's a different story, but...
I don't think Leicester have got any real reason to sell this summer.
That's the point of signing a player. You want to give him a good reason, and that's a lot of money. I can't see them spending like 35 million on a keeper, and then another. I don't know how much Leicester are going to want for Chilwell on a left back, as well as and then that's just on the defence. I think
if they only improve their defence, then so be it, because their attackers they're not great, and they are all right, but they can carry it. They've got to start with their defence. They can't concede however many they've been conceding this season.
I do agree with that. I was reading today that Timo Werner has got 12 days left on his contract for the 15 million release clause, which surprisingly has not been activated yet. But after that, then I think the release clause becomes inactive, and then Leipzig will probably play him for 100 million or so.
Liverpool really need to go in for him. I mean, that's another sort of story, but he wants to join Liverpool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he said that, but Liverpool don't want him.
Yeah, and then there's two more. Sancho, I don't think they'll get him, but it will be a quality signing if they do.
They're in the running.
They are in the running. They will be in the running because London club. Sancho will want to come back to the Premier League, and then the last one's Havertz. He's been brilliant this season, Kai Havertz. And if you push Ziyech out to the wing, play Havertz through the middle with a striker up front and Pulisic out on the left, I reckon we've got a decent little attack force going.
Well, if you manage to make all those signings, then
I think you're looking at 400 million.
Yeah,
300 million maybe between all those signings.
Yeah, but if they really want to change their team, that's what they're going to have to do.
and
I think you're probably looking at more shrewd signings than some of those.
All right, so I again don't know how pushed for time we are, so I'm going to go on to mine. I have gone with Arsenal. So a few port of calls. I'm going to start with the gaping hole, which is their defensive midfield and their midfield as a unit. Now they've been strongly linked with Thomas Partey of Atletico, who I think is basically who they need. They need someone to sit in there
100%.
to control the game. They have none of that. When you watch them, I don't think I've ever watched a game. An Arsenal game where I could say, yeah, they dominated the midfield. Not once. And they get ripped apart. And then it gets pushed back onto their defence, and then people blame their defence, which obviously isn't good, but it looks worse than it is because they've got no one in that midfield role that needs to be strong and hold the ball up. So they've been linked with Thomas Partey. If they get him, that's class. So he would definitely be my first signing. As well as that, get rid of Lacazette. Doesn't want to be there. You can get money for him. Martinelli's probably just as good, honestly. Keep Aubameyang. That is massive. He
signed a new contract, apparently.
Well, then he goes on a free. Unless he does. I mean, I've not heard anything about his contract. But if you keep him for the season, he goes on a free next summer.
No, apparently he signed a new contract.
Aubameyang, keep him. Need him. He is vital to the goal-scoring output of Arsenal. They have William Saliba coming in, no?
Yeah, joining.
They signed him last summer. He went back on loan to Saint Etienne, was it? I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And he is hopefully coming into the side next season. He's 18 years old. He was highly sought after by all the top clubs, Barcelona being one of them, and he is probably what their defence needs, a player like him. However, very young, wouldn't rely on him. Get him into the team. Not sure what that means for the partnership of Luiz and Socrates, whether he'd come in for one of them or they play a three or, who knows. That will, we'll see that with time. Keep Bellerin. PSG have, in the last week, been rumoured to make a move, looking to make a move for Hex Bellerin. So next will be the left back. Now they have got a quality left back, and we really haven't seen much of, and that's Tierney.
Yeah.
He, from what I have seen of him, and from what Arsenal fans have seen of him, that I haven't. I think he played in the cup game, which I didn't watch, but he was quality apparently. So quality, Arsenal fans said that he's, one of the best left backs they have ever seen at Arsenal in the short space of time, obviously rushing into it, but he has been injured pretty much his whole time at Arsenal. They need to get him in the team.
Playing at West Ham, then. I thought
he
I watched that on
TV.
Yeah. I remember that.
So their left back, obviously, I think at the moment is Saka. Very young player.
Does Tierney come back in over Saka?
Yes. Now let me go on to that.
Why?
Would you, if Tierney comes in over Saka, because I think he is a better player, and Saka definitely has a better future, but in the short term, what would you do with Saka? Would you send him out on loan? Would you keep him? Would you keep him in the team?
Yeah, push him further up the pitch.
I'd probably keep him as kind of a backup left back because I think there probably will be pressures from the board to start Tierney based on the money they spent on him. And also, I just think that Saka was probably going through a good run of form. I don't think he will consistently perform at that level, which was a high level in fairness.
Sending Saka on loan to someone like, I don't know, Southampton will take him on loan.
I don't think
why are you keeping him on the bench?
Because Arsenal play 50 games every season and Tierney's fitness is not reliable.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree
true.
with that. But let's say Tierney stays fit for 35 of those games, right? He's their starter in the Premier League. All right, maybe Saka will start in the FA Cup, maybe will start in the League Cup. That is not enough for him to further his development.
And the Europa League, but I think I'll
But
speak to
he's
Arteta.
by
I think he'll chop
trade
and
is a
change his
left.
team.
He's a winger.
Yeah,
What
he's
do
a
you put him
winger
on the
by
wing?
trade. That is true.
Yeah. What else have we got? Get rid of Xhaka, please.
I actually disagree. I think he's been all right since he had that whole incident.
I completely agree. I think Xhaka's been in the Arteta era one of their best players.
Yeah, I think he's been all right in the midfield. Him and Ceballos have done bits for Arsenal in the midfield so far.
He is such a donkey. Donkey.
But he's been all right. He has been all right.
Someone I would say as well, keep Torreira. I know Arsenal fans love Torreira. Keep him in there. And don't really want to get too in-depth about it, but I'm honestly not too sure what to do with Ozil because they don't really have a creative attacking midfielder that's not Ozil. And I think when he's playing his best, he is very, very, very good. But the question is, how would you get Mesut Ozil playing as prime Mesut Ozil?
I think Mesut Ozil's past his prime. I don't think they're ever going to reach his levels again. I think you get rid of him, even if it won't be for a large sum. You get rid of those wages. You get rid of the arrogance in the dressing room. I'd probably say the same with Torreira. I think with Guendouzi, Xhaka, Partey, potentially, they've got enough bodies in there. I think you can get a decent sum for Torreira as well. I know AC Milan, I think, want him. Or there were rumours to him, probably, I think it was in January maybe. I think you get rid of Ozil, and I don't know what you do in honest truth, but you need to sign someone to play in that 10 role. Off the top of my head, no one immediately springs to mind because I don't think Arsenal have the pull factor to bring in someone like Havertz. Yeah, they don't have the power to bring someone like Havertz. Yeah. So even maybe Ziyech. I mean, I know he's gone to Chelsea now, but just hypothetically, I'm not sure. You know,
Van de Beek. I'm surprised he hasn't been snapped up yet.
But Van de Beek's more defensive anyway. I thought.
Yeah, no.
If they sign Partey, they probably don't need.
Yeah, no.
Probably don't need Donny.
Okay, so shall we move on to the quiz then?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
we could talk about
as ever
signings.
We have we have a quiz for the guest on the show. How well do you know your club? The title of the segment. Rian is a West Ham fan. Me and Alfie have both prepared 5 questions each. Here they go. I'll start. Rian, who has got the most appearances for West Ham in their history?
We see. I think we have a stand named after him, but I don't know if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm gonna go with a really I think I saw this on one of the walls when we went on the tour. Was it Frank Lampard Senior, as in Frank Lampard's dad?
No, it's not. It's Billy Bond.
Yeah,
there is a stand named after him, isn't there?
Yeah. Is there not a Billy Bond stand? Yeah, or something.
Yeah, there is.
799 appearances for the club.
Ah, fair, yeah.
Also played in the 1966 World Cup final, I do believe.
He did.
That was before he joined us. I know that was just as he joined us, yeah.
Okay, so I hope I've phrased this question well. It's a hard question to get across. What is West Ham's net goal scored this season for goals given / disallowed for and against by VAR? So, for example, example,
yeah, I thought
if you had one goal given by VAR, that would be +1.
Mm-hmm.
One goal. If you had another goal disallowed, it'd be -1. Because it would cancel each other out. Because then you'd have no overall goals given by VAR.
Do you guys remember the Sheffield United game when
the handball
scored? Yeah, for Declan Rice. Yeah, that one still hurts.
Yeah, you went to that game.
Yeah, I did.
We're going to push you for an answer.
Yeah, I just have no idea. Well, remember that one? Remember City had one disallowed? Is it a negative or positive number?
Okay, so I'll give you a clue. It's one of the lowest in the league.
So that's minus.
It is a negative number.
Minus.
I think Wolves is the lowest.
-5.
It's -6.
Oh, it was a guess. I had no idea.
So
I've got a bit of a...
All right, I was just going to say, you've been given leading to goals for 0. You haven't been given a goal by VAR.
Brilliant.
You've had 4 disallowed goals.
Yeah.
5 goals given against you
Yeah.
by VAR and 3 goals disallowed against you,
Wow.
which is -6 in total.
So I did one of these questions similar for Dan. It's I've got 3 players listed here, and they've all played with a current West Ham player. You have to name that current West Ham player. The players are Oxlade-Chamberlain, Renato Sanchez, and Wilfred Boney.
Oxlade-Chamberlain, Renato Sanchez.
It's a good one. I know it is. Pat myself
Say the
on back
first
for
one
this
again.
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
I've got it.
Oh,
Got it.
wow.
Oh, that is devastating.
One of these
Wait.
players you would have forgotten played for that club.
Oxlade-Chamberlain,
Renato Sanchez, Wilfred Boney.
Is it Lucas Fabianski?
It is Lucas
Yeah.
Fabianski. Just anyone at home.
Plays for Swansea.
Yeah, Chamberlain at Arsenal and Renato Sanchez and Wilfred Boney both at Swansea. Alfie, over to you.
Okay. West Ham's highest home attendance this season was 59,959. But who was it against this season? 59,959.
Oh, I thought it was much higher than that.
Is that not a sellout? It's not a sellout, is it?
No, we've got 62.5k.
But who is it against? Was it against?
I've got a guess, but it's only a guess.
It's not all time, is it? It's just
No,
was
this
it
season.
Manchester United?
No, it was Liverpool.
Oh.
I don't know why,
I would
but
guess either Tottenham or Chelsea.
Because that was the Monday night game where we were the last team who could have beaten them. If they hadn't beaten us, we would have been the only team that hadn't beaten.
Okay, this is a bit of a random question. Who has got the most tackles per 90 minutes in the West Ham squad this season?
Wait, that is a random question.
So basically, who do you think tackles the most in your squad?
Most tackles per 90.
It's I think it was 3.9, but I don't think that necessarily helps you.
No, not at all. Would you go for someone like Declan Rice? That is my.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Would he dare?
Would I dare?
Mind games.
I'm tempted to say one of our fullbacks, like Creswell or Fredericks, but yeah, I'm gonna go Ryan Fredericks.
Oh wow, it's correct. Yeah, it is Ryan Fredericks.
Yeah, because we always get down the wings. So
yeah, no, I think fullbacks do traditionally have higher tackle numbers. Alfie, over to you.
Okay. Question number 3 for me. This could be quite an easy question. West Ham's top goal scorer this season so far is Sebastian Haller. But how many Premier League goals has he scored?
He didn't. Did he score in the Carabao?
It's Premier League, I thought you said.
Yeah, Premier League.
Yeah, but I'm trying to work out.
Oh right. So
Yeah. Fine.
just trying to guide you onto the right track.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, he's been pretty poor, but
He started quite well and went off a bit like a
yeah.
well, yeah.
Wait, do I get to know how many he scored he scored the whole season? Is it he scored 16 the whole season? As in not in the Premier League alone, just in all competitions.
Hold on. Let me just look it up because I actually don't know the stat.
It's 7 goals. According to WhoScored.com, it's 7 goals in all competitions this season.
No, I think he scored 7 goals in the Premier League. I think he scored more than I think you just gave me the answer, mate. I think he scored 7 goals.
I don't think he did. I think he has scored 7 goals in all competitions.
I think he scored 7 goals in all
I'm
competitions.
gonna.
No, that's not true. He scored.
Are you sure that's not his time at West Ham, not just this season? I'm going on Wikipedia now.
I think it's 7 because he hasn't played in anything else. I don't think.
Yeah, according to this, he's only played 2 times in the FA Cup, none in the League Cup. So he's only actually played.
Well, you can't tell him the answer,
Why
can
are
you?
you telling me the answer?
Well, I was just saying.
Right, the answer is 7. The answer
It is
is 7.
Yeah, but Alfie, you
But
said
he
you were going
has
to look at how many
played.
goals he scored in all competitions. So I was just doing that for you. And
But
yeah,
he has played. He has played.
Yeah,
in the
he
cup.
has.
He did
He
score.
has definitely scored more than 7 in
Okay,
all
anyway.
I'll
Wait,
give
we
you
can't
that.
include-
I'll give you
Thank
that.
you.
I'll give you that. End of story.
When did West Ham change their badge to their current badge?
Oh, I hate our current badge.
What was your old badge?
It was
Pretty
the one with
similar.
Castle on it, but it was
Castle though.
just- It was when we moved. It was
Oh, the red one.
It was 2016, wasn't it? They changed.
Yeah.
Summer of 2016, around there.
Yeah, is that
Yeah,
your
it
answer?
was.
Yeah. I thought you that was going to be your answer. Yeah, no, it was 2016 at the end of 2015-16 season.
All right. Who has made the most appearances for West Ham this season?
See, I think that is Declan Rice. But wait, don't quote me on that.
I really hope it's not Declan Rice.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go. It's Declan Rice.
It is Declan Rice.
It is Declan
With
Rice.
29
Oh,
appearances.
joy.
The next person, I think. Oh, I
Is
can't
Theo?
remember. I think it's Ogbonna with like 27.
Oh,
the next
right.
one.
Okay. No, this is either Ian, you know it or you don't. To which club did Pedro Obiang move to from West Ham?
I don't know how to say it, but it's
Sassuolo.
Sassuolo, that one. Yeah, that
Sassuolo
one.
is the correct answer.
Yeah.
So that's my questions finished, and Alfie, you'll bring it home in terms of the questions.
Right. I love how this is the last one. It is a career path. Okay, so this is a player which is definitely before our time, but if you don't know who he is, then you'll never come on the podcast again. Okay, so I'm just going to read you all his clubs. Lazio, Juventus.
As long as he went from these. Was this his order or not?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay.
From the beginning.
In
I'm
order.
gonna make a
Okay.
guess
In
as
order.
well. Just what I'd say.
Lazio, Juventus, Napoli, Milan, Celtic, Sheffield Wednesday, West Ham, Charlton, Lazio, Roma.
Oh wow.
He went from Sheffield Wednesday.
He ended his career in 2008 is when he retired. The clue is probably in his first 4 clubs, I reckon. Yeah.
What, Lazio, Juve,
Napoli,
Inter?
Milan.
Napoli, Milan.
I think I know.
Oh,
Is it
I think I know.
Paolo?
I'm going to need a full name.
Paolo Di Canio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is Paolo Di Canio.
That would have been my guess. Yeah, that would have been.
The Sheffield Wednesday threw me off.
Same with me. When I was reading, I was like, no way. But he
we
made
signed him for
41 appearances for Sheffield Wednesday, scoring 15 goals. And then,
He
we
was
signed him.
such a class player.
That was a pretty decent return. So that brings us to the episode to a close. Rian, you scored 7 out of 10. A very, very respectable score. Some good questions in there, if I may say so, on both of our behalves. Anyone watching, we do hope you enjoyed. Feel free to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, get in touch on Twitter, which is about_talk without the T in about, so it's ABOU_TALK.
I cannot believe you have to explain that every single time.
And Rian, just before we go, I ask you to ask all our guests, although there's only been one, if you were on a desert island and you have to take one music album with you, what album would you choose?
Psychodrama.
Psychodrama. Yeah,
You got
good answer, that
flashbacks
one.
for the way you said it with Dan.
Yeah, it's just I like
I'm gonna isolate that clip and I'm gonna put it on the Twitter so everyone can see.
Please do.
That is
If
really
you're viewing this on Twitter, come over to the YouTube channel. Talk about nothing, all one word. So please do like and subscribe, as I
We
said.
just got a new follower and it is Rian.
Yes, get in
Yes!
there. Be like Rian. Go follow to us. We've got some, as I mentioned at the start, we've got some really exciting episodes. Me and Alfie are really looking forward to recording.
Yeah.
So if you do subscribe, they'll come into your subscription box when they're uploaded. So you don't even have to search in our name on YouTube. That's wonderful.
And turn that bell on.
Turn that bell on so you're notified.
Never miss a video.
Rian, thank you very much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Alfie, thank you as ever. And bye-bye.